try to see how this can, oh, that's better. That's better. Perfect. All right, I just have to do some sharing because sharing is caring. So we'll just do, oh, I have an itchy nose. There's that little saying that I heard as a kid, itchy nose, kiss a fool. I don't know where they came up with that. I'm pretty sure it's just my hair is tickling my nose ring. But I did share in that. I used to joke around saying, oh, who did I leave off with? Oh no, now I have to count. Okay. Hi guys, good morning. It's a terrific Tuesday. Good morning, Doris. How are you? Where is she? Where is she? There we go. I have to try to remember where I left off. And then once I get talking, then the name that I left off on sometimes does a disappearing act in my brain. Hello, Bestie Boo. Hello, hello. How are you? I miss you. I know we talked yesterday, but TT. Good morning. I hope that, yay, yay, there's comments today. Yesterday I went live on YouTube to do my weekly pick a card reading live on the air. So that's where I am on Monday. If you want to hang out with me on Monday, come to my YouTube channel. My website is linked in my profile, and thank you so much for doing that, Dee. I appreciate it. My phone's just overlapping a smidge here, so I just have to move it. Sorry for the bumping. Really? Is everybody else, can you confirm that? Denise, let me know. Can you guys let me know if you're hearing me multiples? It might be just my bestie boo is getting me like all around every which way. Okay, okay. It's just you, sweetheart. You just really needed to hear me 5 times. You're like, I missed you so much. Echo, 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 echo. Awesome, awesome. Thanks, guys. So confirmation, it's okay on both ends. Just hello, guys. Hello. Dee put a post in the thing about what you see is dependent upon what you know, right? She put that in the chat, right? And it's so true, right? Your belief system frames your reality, right? And when you think about that, people will be like, well, I don't understand what you mean. But for somebody who's never seen color the same way as you have, then, hi, I don't know why you're calling me mummy. I look like a bee. Aw, that's cute. I look like a bee. That makes me happy. Right? I mean, I could look like a butterfly and be like a fairy, but I'll take a bumblebee. Bzz. Bzz. Bees are delightful. They're so high vibrational. I'll take it. Aw, that's a cute pickup. You are speaking English. I am in fact going to call you out and say no speak English would be not writing those words that you wrote down already. You can speak some English, maybe not all the English, maybe not really easily, maybe not correctly, but I'm pretty sure that even no matter where you come from, you know mommy, you know what mommy means. And I'm only mommy to 2 souls in this world. But I am grandmommy to 3 souls now, actually. So what's going on in your home? What's going on in your home? Did you see that thing on TikTok? I think it was on TikTok where they showed a guy, he has a tattoo and there was a murmur in his house because he actually, like, the seal, like, be careful what you tattoo on your body. Hi, Kenneth. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm a grandma. I'm a grandma. I love it too. I love being a grandma. I have 2 grandsons and I just love it. Cool. I'm glad I sound normal for you. That would have been annoying. I mean, I love myself and I accept myself, but I also accept that I can sometimes have a very loud, very fast, and I can't even imagine having 5 of my voices all at the same time. That's just too much. Too much. Yay. Yeah, I get told that my son is my brother all the time, or that I'm like, nobody thinks that my children are my children, that's for sure. Um, just strange. Cool. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it. Interesting, interesting. But yeah, what you put in the thing today, Dee, absolutely, absolutely agree with that. We're going to do today's tarot in T, and the T can stand for a lot of things. The T could stand for the fact that my first name's Tanya. It could stand for transformation. It could stand for that I am a trauma specialist, so we could talk about trauma. But it usually means that the T, which I always have, is T, and sometimes hard truths. And that's usually what it is that when I do the tarot readings, I'm giving you the message that it's coming from love. I always ask to channel a message that's from love and for the highest good. Right? I want to make sure that whatever messages you're getting are going to come to you in a way that you're going to hear them and understand them. But sometimes we actually have to hear the truth, and the truth isn't palatable, or it isn't nice, or it isn't, soft, right? Oh yeah, it's my son thinks it's hilarious. He thinks it's hilarious. He thinks it's hilarious that people think that both my sons. I went out with my son and my grandchildren on Father's Day, and yeah, they thought I was the wife. And my son used to get annoyed about it, and the reason why he used to get annoyed with it was because he was dating an older woman, and well, nobody thinks that I look like I'm his mom. So we would go out and they would call me his girlfriend, and he would go out with his girlfriend and they would make insinuations that she was his mom. And that was not only annoying to him, but annoying to her. It was just funny to me. Hi, Beansy. How are you? How are things going? Good day, good day. Right? I had a conversation about mourning. Where's Richard? Richard and I were talking about mourning. So when we talk about how I love you guys, what a great crew we have, right? I do. I love you all. There's such a beautiful connection here. The way that people connect and reach out, and everybody's saying hello to everybody, because it really is a collective that we're building. Hi, Kathy. Good morning, beautiful soul. Yeah. No, I'm an adult. I'm just an adult. I have almost 50 years of experience on this earth, but I have lifetimes, lifetimes of experience. And being that we're infinite spiritual beings, right? Being an infinite soul, eternal energy, how do you put an age on something like that? Right? And the other thing is like us Gen Xers, we just did something different. And it might have been our lack of caring attitude for a lot of things. It could be, I don't know what it was, but there's a lot of us Gen X's who definitely are drinking some kind of youth potion. But you know what I found the elixir of youth is? It's actually happiness, right? It's happiness. It's loving yourself and loving your life. That is what is the fountain of youth. So I talked about this before, and this is actually proven by science, right? And we like to prove things by science. Ooh, I would love that. I would love you to join us in the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective later, right? I would love that, right? So with your DNA, I talked about this the other day. This is not Tarot Tuesday. This is, I guess, just going to be Tanya talk. But we do talk about healing and awakening. That's what it's all about here. So you get healing and awakening. Hee. Thank you, Melinda. Beautiful. I love that one. Hee. Right, it's so cute. Sorry, the gifts on TikTok. Sometimes you'll see me do things funny on this side. So when we have basically two emotions, right? We either have the expression of love or we have the expression of fear. Okay, so those are the two emotions that we have. We take those emotions up from the lower three chakras, and we take our thought and belief system from the top three chakras. We merge them in our heart, which is the center of our being, in the center of our chakras. We apply from either love, the belief that the experience was good and it felt really nice, and so it must be this thing, right? Oh, fear comes from anger, or anger comes from fear, sorry. Anger comes from fear. I believe that anger comes from fear. Okay. I believe that this is what they've determined, and this is through the heart math and a bunch more people, not just them, but Greg Braden was on a podcast talking about the studies and stuff like that. So when our bottom three chakras, they recognize two different emotions, right? So we either have the emotion of love, which is a elevating emotion, or we have the emotion that is opposing that, which they determine to be fear. So out of fear, we create these other emotions that are considered to be lower vibrational. So things like grief, things like guilt, shame, blame, criticism, hate, anger, all of those emotions. So those are the lower vibrational emotions. And it's from our thought and belief system that connects to that fear emotion, which should be energy and motion. When we catch that fear with our belief system and we apply something else to it, whether it's more fear and we determine that this is very fearful, many people in the States are doing that, you know, with whether or not whatever they expect comes to pass, whether or not their rights are being infringed upon, whether or not, you know, there's a risk for harm. Them sitting with that anticipation of fear is them looking at that fear rising up and that coming down, right? I don't support war. So when you ask me if I support Israel or Palestine, I support the people. I support humanity. I think that it's absolutely an atrocity that we are fighting over anything that would consider a life be worth that. Nothing is worth taking a life for. So we're fighting over resources, or we're fighting over land, or we're fighting over politics, which the average individual really doesn't care about. And it's not those politicians or those people up at the top that are the ones that are in the fight. No, it's the people that are in the fight. It's the people that lose their lives. So I don't support war at all. I support humanity, and that's it. Right? Like, I honestly cannot wait until we move society, we evolve ourselves enough that people wake up enough to realize that every single life, that doesn't matter if it's a dog, it doesn't matter if it's an elephant, it doesn't matter if it's a whale. We'll no longer have zoos or like marine land where you have a whale that is normally in something the size of the ocean. We haven't even navigated the entire depths of the ocean, and we put him in a little itty bitty tank. I know. I don't understand what that means, though. I agree with you, but supporting humanity is supporting babies staying alive. Okay, what is that? I don't understand. I agree with you, but supporting humanity is supporting babies staying alive. Yes, absolutely. But I don't understand what that meant in context to that. But anyway, that's my view on that. Right? I can't wait until we wake up and evolve enough that we determine that everybody deserves to have, without fear, food, that they have shelter, that they have, you know, house, like they have everything that they need, right? Nobody is less than anybody, right? But our belief system, see, that's what happens with that. We take an emotion of fear, which is pushed out to us through all of the programming, right? The news and the media, all of it. You turn on your TV, if you turn on the news, it's doom and gloom 24/7. And because we're inundated with it, we turn on our social media and it's more in our face, all these things, and you don't even know what's real anymore. And even if you think you know what's real, you probably still don't even know what's real, because there's been so many lies, so much information. And now information is quick. It's so quick. And when it's a lie, do you know it's a lie? Because do you see the the reconciliation that happens after the lie's been told? So you may never ever know that it wasn't a lie, because you didn't see that they retracted the statement that it was a lie. So we are all in this thing where we all think that we know, but do you know with 100% certainty, right? So it's our belief system. We take that and we add it with the fear that they've been feeding us, right? So let's say that you grew up in the States and they told you that Russia was the enemy. Russians, they're like communist country. They live like this and they put it all over your TVs. They make you think that Russia is a certain way and you're inundated with that news. And then when Russians come into your country, you're like, ew, Russians, they're going to try to take us over. They're bad, they're evil, right? Because you were fed that. So that's why I asked you, who put the hate in your heart? If you don't know why you dislike something, or you don't know why you dislike a person, and if you say, I dislike them because dot, 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 is that true? Is it actually true? Right? If you don't know that it's not like, if you don't know with absolute certainty. So that's why I say I just see people where their actions are. If somebody treats me in a certain way, well, then that's my proof that I either want more or less of that, right? It's that simple. Do I want more of that or less of that? Do I like it or do I not like it, right? Let's see what our cards are going to say for today for the collective, and then we'll get into some tarot cards. And the tarot cards, everybody can get a tarot card. I'm here at a Generosity of Spirit. But if you want to book a full reading, full readings are available on my website. I do half-hour readings and I also do hour readings. I do specific readings on human design and gene keys, but you have to know your time, place, and date of birth. Without the time, you can't get a accurate reading for human design or gene keys. And these are just a big, huge overview, but it really does pump you up. Yeah. And so I'll look at that. I love doing gene key readings. It makes me really happy because most people, when they hear about their gene keys and they explore their gene keys, they're just like, really? 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 And it makes so much sense too. So it's really nice. Oh, lovely, lovely. What are you? Are you a manifesting generator? Are you manifesting? What is your main like energy type for human design? I'm a generator. So my joy, yeah, so joy. So you're in the That's how you have to go through life. Right? When it's or when it's even that's not for you. So you get to sit in your sacral and feel into it. Feel it. How does that feel for you? And you know what? The hardest part for me is I'm always, I think I feel. I think I feel. I think I feel. Yeah. I even was thinking I felt what everyone else was feeling. I think I know how you feel. That's how I would say it. I wouldn't say I feel you. Well, sometimes. But a lot of times I think I know how you feel. Or I know how you feel. Maybe. I don't know. It's too hard to go back. And pura vida. Pura vida. Because we've taught to be disconnected from our feelings. That's disconnecting us from the feminine, right? When we are in our feminine energy, we are receptive. I know it blew my mind when I clued into that too. And then I spent the next while after that, I was like, I'm just going to sit with my feelings. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to sit with my feelings and I'm just going to feel into the environment. I'm just going to feel. I'm just going to feel. And it's profoundly shifted things and definitely opened up my spiritual gifts, like big time. Yes, yes, yes. So there's like, I feel you opening up right now, Beans. Like, I feel it like this is something that is like energy in your chest. It's like, I love the feeling. So sit in your heart and feel out into the space. It's just beautiful. I love you, Beansy. All right, let's see what our energy is. You're welcome. Birds of a feather, they like to stick together. Birds of a feather, but they do. This is us. This is our soul family. This is our tribe. This is us coming together. That's the magnetism. You're an electromagnetic bio individual, right? Because we're our meat. People don't like it when I call it a meat suit, but our temple, I like it better that way anyway. But I say it to be funny. I just say it to be funny. But some people don't like it. It makes them go ick. So your temple, your physical temple, is a bio. It's a biology, right? It's natural. The electromagnetic is the rest of you, right? That's your spirit, and we do magnetize things towards us. And we become, this is us magnetizing our soul family to us. We're like, come on, come together. That can get dangerous sometimes, though. There is the caveat to that, right? If we exclude ourselves from other people based on like these divisions that we have, that's why you should have friends that are way different, right? You should have friends that talk about different things, that do different things, that aren't all about the same things that you like. Because when it's too much of the same, you lose out on the diversity. And over time, if we're so much in that grouping, we start to look at others as opposite or that division, right? And anything where there's division, and that's what labels do, is divide us, right? We divide ourselves. And so we need to be careful of those divisions that we're putting out there, the labels that we're using that create those divisions, right? So we just have to be careful of that. And in a lot of ways, I think that is hello, how are you? How are you? I love your energy too. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Let's just put it out there. We have to be careful. All right, what else does the collective need to hear? We're not going to do a huge reading for the collective, but I did want to see a little bit of it. So for some of us, we're healing our heart, which is cool after what I said with Beansy just a minute ago about just sinking into your heart space and just feeling out. It's just beautiful. Allow yourself to feel. Sometimes it is what it is, right? Sometimes it is what it is, and you just have to accept it, right? Some of the things that happened to you when you were a child, they shaped you into the person that you are today, which is a good thing, right? Because you needed to, if you hadn't have had things happen the way that they did, you wouldn't be you that you are today. And then a part of that is figuring out who you were before all of that stuff happened, right? Who are you at your core without all of the, the masks that you wear for connection or safety? Who are you at that space? But if we can be a little bit detached from things, and that's where we need to get to, is that detaching, right? Yeah. That's the challenge, is staying into your body and not going into the mind to think about it, right? When we start thinking about the feeling, or we start to put reason on it, right? We try to justify or validate it in the mind, right? Like, oh, why am I feeling this way? What does this mean? Where is this coming from? Why, like, when we get into those questions, that's us logicking our emotions. So when we are feeling and we're just feeling, it's just the sensations. What are the sensations that are in my body right now? When have I felt like this before in my body? And it's okay to let this go in whatever way feels right to me in my body. Right? I might feel a good release of crying, and that feels good in my body. Maybe I feel like going outside and connecting with nature, or pounding my feet into the earth, or writing. Right? Murder crows, all the crows. I saw a crow this morning. He was walking down the sidewalk and he was doing his little thing, and I went to get my camera to take a picture of him doing his little waddle because I thought it would have looked really good on music. Right? I could have picked a good tune to get his little butt. But he took off before I could get a picture. So sometimes there's that radical acceptance that has to happen, because sometimes we tie ourselves up in that. Think about the times when you've broken up with somebody and your relationship's ended and you're like, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Why, what did I do wrong? What was wrong? What did you like, and you just get stuck. That's just keeping in the logic instead of just allowing the emotions to go and recognize that it is what it is. What did you do to get here? At some points, maybe you'll never completely know. So just let it go, because that's just going to keep you tied to that very thing, that very specific thing that you want to move beyond. For many of us that are logicking our feelings, we tend to overthink. ADHD, or anywhere within that spectrum, where we have the neuro-spicy brain, or those. It's just a different patterning, right? I talk about this, the neurotypical brain is like a 2-lane road. Like information is doo-doop and doo-doop, doo-doop. Like it's just, you drive down the road and you go here and there and there and there and you get to your destination. That's the neurotypical. The neurospicy or divergent brain is like a massive highway. It's got all these different roads and they're going in all different directions, and there's off ramps. Like it's like the 401 in Toronto. The 401 in Toronto is one of the busiest highways in North America, with the number of cars that it has on it, and on a daily basis. And it's massive. Like when you're in the heart of, the GTA, you're looking at 16 lanes of road, because there's 8 on each side, right? Right? Like it's a crazy highway. That's a neurodivergent brain. That's the spicy brain, right? And that's just a different way of processing things. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a spicy brain that processes information differently. But because we have a super highway up there, as opposed to, a regular road, right? Where it makes sense, you're driving down the road in one direction, you're going to get to a stop sign and you're going to turn and you're going to go down that road until you, like it's just a very logical way of doing things. So we're up in here in this super highway. It means that we're more logical, like we're more in our head and less in our body, because we have so much information and so much energy and so much stuff going on up here. It's hard to feel when there's so much noise. Right? That's the way our brains are. But I do like the comparison. Yes. And it's a beautiful thing about it. It's a beautiful tool when you're using it correctly. But don't let it run the show. The brain is not the operator. Like the brain is a tool as a part of the overall system, and it's a great tool to remind your wipers to keep going, right? Like That's what it is. It's back in the background, and it's like, okay, so we're going to regulate our breathing at this rate. We're going to get these going up and down. We're going to open and close them, right? Yeah, the heart is the massive center. They can actually detect your heart now up to a mile away. And they're really saying that when we're looking at the quantum field, that technically there is no limit to the extent of where they could detect the feeling from an individual's heart, that they could pick up the electromagnetic field from one individual. And the reason why they're saying that is because when they've done studies, whatever they believe they can expect to find, right, if they're looking for it, it is found. So the art of the fact that you're looking for it, it means you're going to at some point detect it or find it. So they're saying that the universe is creating itself consistently. When they're trying to see the edge of the universe and they look out there, they think they found it, and then they find a little bit more. When they think that they found the smallest particle by smashing them together in the particle collider, and they smash them together over and over and over and over and over again, they think they get the smallest one, and because they're still looking, they find yet something smaller. Some of the part of it is that the detection or the instruments that they're using, and it is happy Aquarius and Pluto season, age of Aquarius is I mean, I'm more impacted, possibly, I think that I'm more affected with I'm more mutable, but I do have, obviously we all have a combination. So you really have to look at your site, like look at your site, but it is going to help us. There's going to be so much awakening now. We're going to start to see, do you know how many communities are starting up? Communities where people are bonding together first in like this way, and like I'm building the Mind Body Spirit Healthy Collective. There's a big group of us, even within that collective, that see that collective at some point actually being in a physical space where, you know, you buy property and everybody has their tiny homes all over the property, right? So many people are connecting to do that. I know of multiple groups and I'm involved with them personally as these concepts of creating these little hubs. Beans Nation, exactly, right? So I see these things happening. That's what we're moving towards, and it's amazing when you think about that, right? It's amazing what Aquarius season is going to do to remove the veil, to have the truth be seen, for these innovative new ways of thinking about things, right? This is going to be a radical transformation, because when you combine Pluto, which is about radical change, and you take Aquarius, who's the forerunner of ingenuity and, you know, is the most original thinker of the entire, you know, in the entire thing. Hi Mira, missed you lately, love. Glad to see you today. So yeah, it's it's incredible. It's incredible. I think that we're doing so much fun with our talking and stuff. Did you notice that little change there? Let's just do cards. Let's just do cards for people. I'm gonna crisscross my legs the other way. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. We can talk about that in the Mind Body Spirit Healthy Collective if you want. We can look at some of our charts. I mean, whoever wants to look at that, we can do that. Ooh, nice. Because that's a conjunction. So a conjunction, right, for Aquarius, right, for Aquarius, it being in Aquarius, it's a conjunction, so it's harmonious. Okay, love you, sweetheart. It's harmonious. For the ones that are in Taurus and Scorpio, they're at a challenge aspect. And for those who are in Leo, is opposing energy. Right, because Aquarius opposes Leo. Yes, you are. I said that before I even read the comment. Right as it came out, I was, yes, you are. So there you go. That's your confirmation. That's your confirmation. And thank you so much for the gifts, guys. You guys are incredible. Alrighty, so let's twinning. I'm gonna What time is it? Okay, it's 10:30. My clock is wrong, guys, on the wall. It's the batteries, or I don't know. There's something wrong. We need a new clock. Um, with great power comes great responsibility. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? With great power comes great responsibility, right? Sorry, the power card came out with these. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. With great exactly. And you know what? When we think about true power and what true power is, right? It's all wrong in the world right now. What the way that power is thought to be. Power is, you know, I'm like, let's not get into a big chitty chat about that. How's everybody doing on here? Do you know what I found out, guys, yesterday? I found out that I think that somebody very early on in the episode might have said something, like put down a comment, and they flagged the comments right away and shut them off. I don't know what somebody put, because when I went in to look at it, it said 2 comments, but it wouldn't let me, like I couldn't even see them. So I don't even know what it was. And I did have, I think I had it said that it was for kids. Like it was accidentally set that it was for kids. That's why the comments were turned off on it. But it's all fixed. It's all posted up now, so you can go and watch that. I did a pick a crystal reading yesterday with 3 separate piles of cards. That's on my YouTube channel as well, so you can always go and check out that reading. And this was just some wisdom. It was the message of wisdom. A week ago I did one, and that was the message from your higher self, so you can go and check those out on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I normally said it that it's not for kids, but I think I accidentally said for kids, so then when someone came on right away, whatever they said, they flagged it and then went, okay, we're just going to turn the comments off. But yeah, so I fixed it. I'll fix it. I'll be more careful with it going forward. Alrighty, so who wants some cards? Yeah, I've revamped my channel. I go on YouTube more frequently than here. I've been going, so let's see for Beansy. What does Beansy need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Beans? No, hang on. Definitely. I'm trying to think if I want to use these cards or not. Or if I want to do different cards. These are actually tarot cards. Hi, Pura Vida Flori. Definitely. All right. These ones for a little bit. And maybe with other cards in it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do little cards or big cards. I think that's where the problem lies. Am I going to do a little reading or a big reading? Alrighty. You got the High Priestess in the shadow, Beansy. The High Priestess in the shadow is that you're not paying attention to the signs, or you're not listening to your dreams. And I think it might be more your intuition. The Eight of Swords came out in the shadow as well. The Eight of Swords is like, we create our own blocks. We really do. This is really, there's something that I feel like you need to move forward from. And it might be, isolating yourself. It might be, being blindfolded. There's something that you're worried about. The Nine of Swords, so something that's making you feel anxious. And it could be financially, but we'll see. TikTok drama. That makes sense. That makes sense. There's a lot of drama on TikTok. So not your circus, not your monkeys, right? Don't allow that stuff. Like, it's really just what they're doing is them doing them, and that's, as long as it's not impacting you directly. The Knight of Swords came out in the shadow as well. The Knight of Swords would be, your energy. The Knight of Swords is that forward motion, very quick mental energy where we, we're processing really well, and we're moving forward towards our goals, and we're making logical decisions quickly. When it's in the shadow, we're in our minds a lot, and it's like right. We get really stuck in that mind, and there's a lot of that coming up. Like these are all swords. That's all mental. So um, that high priestess in the shadow, she's telling you feel right, which we talked about already, which is just funny. But and pay attention to the signs and the symbols, and that's how you cycle out of this. Okay. That's how you cycle out of this. So don't give attention to the things that you don't want to grow, because the universe only knows one response, and that is yes. Whatever you're focusing on, yes, you can have more of that. That's all the universe knows. So make sure that what you're focusing on just is in the best light for you, in the most positive space. So like that gratitude and stuff like that, right? But feel the emotions and allow yourself, like, because when you think about looking at, you just did your reading to see that you're a generator. So a generator is through the sacral, right? So when we can connect with our sacral, which is where our feelings are, right? This is what we need to get into, that feeling space. So drop at least into your heart and feel out into the environment, right? Allow yourself to sit within the lower three chakras and keep out of the top three, which are are connected to the brain, and just in that lower space. Um, yeah, yeah, and just feel out into your environment and allow yourself to know. You can do some somatic thing, like for the like yoga, like doing some real like yoga within the sacral space, right? Like the hips, right? Some really good hip yoga would be a good way to move those emotion energy as well. But it might make you cry, but this is okay because you want to release, right? All right, D. What does D need to see? What does D need to hear? Okay. All right, D. What does D need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get some good cards for D? Alrighty. So you got some tough energy coming out for you, D. Um, the Ten of Cups, I mean, that makes sense, right? The Ten of Cups, you've been dealing with a lot of family stuff right now, and I get that. So emotionally, I think that, things aren't, you're not in a fulfilled space emotionally, is what my guides are saying. The King of Swords, this can be that there's energy around you that could be from a masculine energy that's narcissistic or toxic masculinity that is involved here. But I don't think that's the case. I almost feel like this is talking about the past, that you were not, emotionally fulfilled, and that person was toxic and they left, which has allowed that liberation, right? The devil in the shadow is liberation from the things that maybe were addictive. And I think that, we can take a lot of lessons or experience from that. The Knight of Pentacles is here, and the Knight of Pentacles is talking about like hard work, steady effort, working towards your goals. And I see you being that Knight of Pentacles that is working towards that. And maybe the reason why the devil, the king, and the other cards that were in shadow were there is because it's just reminding you that situation happened before. So be cautious, and I don't, not cautious in the sense of focusing on a negative, but just be aware of what was it that allowed the previous situation to happen, so that you can be aware that you're not going to allow that to happen again going forward. There is the health concerns, and I know that your family and like health or financial concerns, right? And I know that with everything that's going on with your dad and stuff like that, that it's been it's been a challenge. But we do have the King of Pentacles coming out. So whether this slow and steady effort brings you a relationship with somebody that is the King of Pentacles, or you become the King of Pentacles, that's the way that this is. But it's going to be a bit. So before this next person comes in that is your partner, this is time. It's going to be a bit. Okay, is what I'm getting from my guides. So yeah. I think that the other thing is, don't come from a space of lack, right? You can't come from a space of lack looking for a relationship, because if you're lacking anything within you, then you're going to be looking for that to be within somebody else, right? So feel whole in yourself to find someone who also is whole within themselves, right? Yeah. So work on you right now, and that will come, okay? Hello. What's your name? Alrighty, Flory. What does Flory need to hear, okay? What does Flory need to hear for a message? Can I get a good message for Flory? Alright, Flory. Something's not coming very quickly. There's a slowdown, maybe not a complete delay, but there's definitely a slowdown. That slowdown is with masculine energy, and maybe it's time for you to stop in the hustle and grind. But the Three of Swords came up, so there's some grief there, some heartbreak. So something's like out of balance, not in harmony with you right now. And it might not be financially. I feel like this is more in the relationship aspect, right? And there's a decision that needs to be made between your comfort zone and taking a risk. So there's a risk that you need to take. You need to look at the balance, and the imbalance that is in there. It doesn't have to be huge, but it could be, that the expenses are more than the money that's coming in, or you're focusing too much on work and not doing enough for fun or for pleasure, or you're focused too much on money, and there's not the spirituality component that's there as well. That's what the Two of Pentacles, in that imbalance, it can mean a variety of different things. The Two of Wands is about making a decision between choosing to go after your dreams, choosing to follow the things that you desire, right? Wands is all about taking inspired action. It's where your spirituality and that motion forward happens, right? We're looking at fire. So this is asking you to take that risk and go towards your dreams. This Emperor could be a masculine energy that's not good for you, being that it's with the Three of Swords. But it could be more subtle than that, as opposed to being in a relationship that ended, or ended in heartbreak. It could be speaking to the masculine energy, like of go go go, and like hustle 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 and grind grind grind, but I'm not seeing the results. There's this delay, it's not coming in right now. And so I'm like grieving this, that it didn't happen the way that I thought it should happen. It didn't happen as fast as it should have happened, and things are out of balance. So I need to make this decision, and when I make this decision, whatever it is, and maybe it's being seen more, maybe it's speaking your truth more, whatever this is, that risk that you need to take to leave that comfort zone is going to yield you all of it, the Ten of Pentacles, right? So that's what reverses everything. Okay, good morning, Sneha. How are you, love? Hello, guys. Alrighty, who's next? Because I can't remember. What's your name? Good morning. Rose. Hi, sorry. It probably went earlier. Okay, done. Hello, Craig. Hi, guys. Okay, Rose. What does Rose need to hear today, Spirit, or right now? And remember, I just asked what Spirit wants you to know. So this is just your message from Spirit. My Spirit guides will give me some information too. I'm just a messenger. Okay, so I'm just a messenger. Elizabeth in the Mountain. Thank you, Beansy. All right, Rose. What does Rose need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Rose? Rose, did you see those cards flow? All right. So far, we're just getting all 5 all at once. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that, 1, you've been pouring into other people and not into yourself. So when we, so this is a time for you to reverse that, right? What we give others is our overflow, right? When we give from our cup, we run dry. So you think of yourself as, a teacup with a saucer, right? When you overflow the teacup, whatever lands in the saucer, that's what you freely give to everybody else. But what's in the cup is yours. Okay? So think of it in that kind of concept. Right? When we pour the love into ourselves and we're full and loving ourselves and we know ourselves and we can assert boundaries and stuff, like when we're more confident in ourselves, then when we align with somebody else, we're not aligned with them because they're a missing piece or they're filling in or fitting a spot or fixing something, right? We're meeting them in that space of genuine connection. I feel like you've been dealing with working on something for a while. Aww. Oh, I love you, Flory. So the 7 of Pentacles is about losing hope in the shadow. It's about putting in a lot of work and effort and yielding like small amounts, or not seeing any harvest. Either one, where it's not what you expected, so all this work and not the reward is the energy of the 7 of Pentacles. So that one is also, we've got the Page of Wands in the shadows here. So the page, when I was talking about wands, wands are about inspired action and pages are about new things. But this is us more maybe not embracing something new, not moving forward with this newness. And I think it's because, like I said, you're pouring into other people and you've been putting all that work in, that I feel like you're starting to lose a little bit of passion for it. And this could be a relationship, right? Yep, this could be, like I said, you're losing passion. It's like this, if we look at it from a relationship aspect, right? If we look at this from a relationship aspect, you're pouring love outward, not inward. You put in a lot of work and you're not seeing like the really like an even exchange of energy. You're not seeing it. And this is making you lose passion or interest, right? Like, or the other person, if we apply these cards maybe to the other person. But there's mirrors all around. The Hierophant references Taurus energy as the major arcana. And the Hierophant is the most spiritual card in the deck. The Hierophant is talking about enlightenment, for one, that there could be information that you're going to receive that's going to open your eyes to clarity. I mean, when I ask God for something, I ask God for wisdom. Wisdom's a good thing, right? I ask for wisdom because with wisdom you can do a lot of things. A lot of things. Rather than asking for something small. So the Hierophant is the most spiritual card in the deck, and it references Taurus energy. And when it lags like that, it could be because the message is like it's being challenged to getting to you, right? Because it's important that you hear this. So the Hierophant can speak of spiritual awakening or enlightenment, about getting clarity. So it feels like you're going to start to get clear in this situation. Okay, so you're going to start to get clear. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles that came out as well. The Ace of Pentacles is about new ideas, but like worth, right? The Ace of Pentacles is your self-worth. So I see you as having this enlightenment and choosing your worth over other stuff. And it's a new beginning for you to start to build that power into yourself. So this is not the energy flow that we want. Remember, we want the flow where it's into you and then overflowing into others, not pouring out of you, giving it to everybody else. We don't want the relationship where we're like work, 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 and we're still like, it's not supposed to be hard work. Yes, there's going to be times in a relationship when you're going to have to put in some, like, there's different ways that we can determine that too. But, right, if you're, yeah, this could be, again, that could become a really complicated, long conversation if we went into relationships. But we do want there to be an even exchange, right? We do want to make sure that the effort that we're putting into the relationship is we're getting that back again, right? We want to make sure that that transaction's happening, right? So, and we don't want to be losing hope. And the same thing with this. We want that in that feeling of passion on that level. You know, like we want to feel that we have hope and desire for that relationship still. But in this situation, it's not. So whether that clarity, whatever that clarity is coming though, is going to change the tide, and you're going to start to focus on your self-worth. And Taurus, I mean, Taurus should have good self-worth. Taurus should have good financial worth. And you know what? I just picked up, there was another card that was over here. It's the Ace of Wands. That's 3 wands. That's new beginnings. 3 wands in one reason. Wait. Gotta get the other one. Right? 3 wands in your reading. So 3 ones. Okay, so that's a new beginning. This is new inspiration to take that action. This is new worth. This could be financial, self-worth. Pentacles is the earth element. So again, that's looking at your Taurus. So the only thing that was upside down was the love, right? Start pouring the love into yourself and watch everything else change. Everything else change. Okay, that's your reading. That's your reading. Yeah. Yeah, if that's the one that you're curious about, I think that that's just telling you right now that that would not be the right direction to go in. Right? Yeah. And if I just like, because I was talking to you yet, I haven't moved on with the cards. We got the 8 of Swords, like participating in your struggles. We got the 3 of Wands, which can oftentimes mean a third party. And with the King of Cups. So that was not, that guy's not the one. Or it's not the right direction. Alrighty, I know that Elizabeth asked for a card, so I'm going to pull Elizabeth a card. I know that, you know, there's other people that asked for a card too, like Melinda and Spiritual Love, but Elizabeth was the first one that came to mind, so Elizabeth. Elizabeth, the first card that came out is the 2 of Pentacles. So this is about balancing the many aspects of yourself, balancing the spiritual and the material, balancing the masculine and the feminine. There was something that happened where it was you narrowly avoided disaster, and that's represented by the devil. So this could be the liberation from stuff. Yeah. Once you know, like when you feel whole in you, that's when you're navigating. Once you're in your authenticity, that's when things just magnetize themselves to you, and it doesn't even matter how those are when you end up with those situations where you're like, I can't even believe how this happened, right? Yeah, exactly. The deviation ones, right? We've got the 2 of Wands coming up for your reading as well. So you've got 2 2s in here, but the 2 of Wands in the shadow. So you're staying in your comfort zone. You're really afraid to take that risk. There's something. We have the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is about deceit. It can be that you're lying to yourself, or it could be that somebody else is lying to yourself. It could be that the stuff that's going on in your mind, there's really stuff that you shouldn't be thinking about or focusing on. And, you know, like, so you really have to determine, like, when we look at the 7, or it's kind of that concept of determining what stuff within your brain you need to be like focusing or holding on to, what's helpful for you. And this is just, you know, there's that, and again, even that manipulation that maybe happened, or your boss lying to you, you have to make sure that you're not, you know, focusing on that over and over again. To a solicitor, wow. This is about a perspective shift. This is, you know, the perspective's going to shift. There's going to be enlightenment with that as well. The Hanged Man, there's a huge perspective shift, and this perspective shift needs to happen for you. You narrowly avoided disaster, is what, you know, that is looking at. Like, you were liberated from something that was really a trap, right? Like, whether you were addicted to the paycheck, like, it's as silly as it is, it may not have even been a great paycheck, but you get comfortable and you get used to having that consistent paycheck. And for many of us, we won't go out and do the things that we're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to, maybe, you know, like you studied Reiki, I know that for sure. So maybe you're meant to go out and do this, and people need you to do that, and the universe is like, yeah, but if we don't do something drastic, she ain't never gonna move. She's going to stay in her comfort zone because she's addicted to that paycheck. Even if it's not the greatest, at least it's consistency. And she's not moving while she has that. So we got to disrupt this. The only way she's going to do something if we give a little tug. So they make this thing happen, and that's what allows your perspective to change, or creates that space of enlightenment where you go, no, I can do it differently, and I'm going to now. I'm going to take that risk. I can do it. I can juggle the many aspects of myself, right? I can do it. Yeah. Yeah. So go chase your goals. Go chase your dreams. Go get them. Go get them. All right, Mountain Mama, Melinda. What does Melinda need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Melinda? What does Melinda need to know, Spirit? Page of Cups. That's new beginnings. The Page of Cups is all about new beginnings, new emotional beginnings. The Page of Swords. This is the mental area. So even though this one needs to switch around. I'll talk about that one and how it needs to switch around. So we've got the 2 pages. Hello, Goldilocks. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Eight of Pentacles. Let's pick all these up. That's too many, Spirit. Too many. We're taking the 1. That's it. Just the 1, not the 10. Just the one that was up. All right. What else for Melinda? That's better. Anything else, Spirit? All righty. Interesting. All right. We've got these 2 cards right now, the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles in the shadow. And when we're looking at these 2 cards, what we get is there is an element of lack, right? There's an element of lack. There's an element of overthinking that's going on, and that's okay. I know you in conversations beyond TikTok. So I know that I'm privy to information that I can speak to about these cards. So I'm going to be cautious about the way that I do that. But the experience that you've been through, you know that has shifted things. So it maybe feels very scary, or maybe you feel like your self-worth has hit is low, right? And the Page of Swords is like really holding on mentally and into the past, right? It's focusing on the past energy instead of looking on the new beginning. And so the page is also about curiosity, right? The page is about learning new things. When I talk about the Page of Swords, I talk about like Gemini energy. It's got that real curiosity for newness and what can I learn, and what can I find out, and like I don't know anything is kind of the page keeps themselves open that way, the Page of Swords. When we're in the shadow, we could be sitting in the I know energy, and when we say I know, we're not learning anything else. We just shut the door on any more learning because we already know. And how can you teach somebody something when they already know it, right? So we have to be careful of that. This new beginning is coming in, and that new beginning through that Page of Cups, he is new beginnings in all sorts of things. And this is like when pigs fly energy. This is really like serendipity and synchronicity and stuff like that. Because I told you before, you chose you, right? You chose you. Judgment. the glorious unveiling of yourself, allowing yourself to be seen. And this is you in your authenticity, and that's when things align with you in such a beautiful way. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is about, that's that learning something and then putting your essence into it, right? This is becoming a master, or mastering some ability or technique. So there's something that you're going to be growing and merging in, and stuff like that. I need to look and see so I can see what that guy is. I'm not sure what that's. You smell burning? Interesting. Interesting. I don't have any smudge going or anything like that. I didn't light any smudge today. Normally I do, but I'm going to smudge afterwards. So yeah, so this Eight of Pentacles, things are turning around for you, and I know that you've been through that, but just remember, again, is the thing that we always talk about: what you focus on grows. So don't focus on, as soon as you realize that you're following down the negative path, and you're like, to stop yourself and go. Somebody just lit smudge a do about nothing. Somebody just lit some myrrh or whatever, not smudge, just lit myrrh. Hello, Miss Dreadlock. So that's the energy that I'm getting for you. You know everything's turning around. You know everything's going to be beautiful and amazing. The more that you allow your authenticity to shine, and you stop looking at the past and keeping that energy in it right now. Ooh, maybe. Got a tickle. Right. I do believe, yeah. Are you smoking, Melinda? Why do you feel abandoned? Yeah, one of the people is, but yeah. Don't try, just do. There's no try. There's just do. Trying gives the element of failure. We don't fail. We accomplish things. So you're just gonna do it, right? We're just gonna do it. And that book, the Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking. If you read that book and say, this is going to teach me everything I need to learn about it, I'm gonna quit. You will. I did very easily. There is no try. Just do or do not. Exactly. You have people. You have everybody. They're not gone. They're not gone. They're not gone. You're not alone. Right? You're not alone. You're right here with us right now. Right? You're right here with us right now. And you can reach out at any point in time in the group chats. You can, connect with somebody and ask, like, hey, are you up for a meeting? Right? I see you, and maybe they're not in your physical space right now, but this is temporary. You know that. It's temporary until you get everything going. And it's absolutely for the best, right? It's absolutely for the best. Maybe this is the time that you get to make new physical connections. Maybe you're meant to be the light in someone else's life, right? Think about the girls who maybe are in a shelter, right? They would not have had the experience of the sacred journey, right? They wouldn't know about heart-focused breathing. They wouldn't know about, taking control of their thoughts, or, all these other beautiful things, the way that you can soothe yourself when you're having a hard time. You've got all those skills though, and now you can show somebody else those skills. Maybe that's why you're there. Maybe that's, it's not a negative, but you're there for that reason or for that season, because you're meant to impact somebody else and improve their lives. Maybe by connecting with that one girl 3 years from now, you help this one girl breathe at one point when she's having an anxiety, an anxious moment. You teach her something, and you guys are beautiful friends. And next thing you know, 3 years from now, like your kids are playing together, and you're living in a beautiful home, and you love your life. Like, you have no idea where it's going to be years from now, right? but maybe there's people there that you're meant to meet. Maybe there's people there that you're meant to interact with, and that's why you're physically away from the other people. And maybe they, the universe was like, look, for Melinda to do this, Melinda needs to be away from there because of multitude of reasons, not just one, but maybe a multitude of reasons. So we have to move Melinda, right? So it could have been for you in that it would help you to, become stronger in some way. Maybe it was for somebody else because you needed to be there in their physical space to impact them in a positive way. You never know the reasons why, but if you can look at it as it's a positive reason, right? Then, it's so much better than to look at I'm alone or I'm lonely, right? That's the opportunity for you to get to know yourself better and connect to yourself. And you're never alone. Your mama's with you all the time. Your mama is with you all the time, right? And is there any way that you could maybe move to a shelter or a space that is closer to family, right? Not you'll still feel safe, right? That's an opportunity as well. But I love you, okay? I love you, and I'm sending so much love your way because I know this is not, it's never a great experience regardless, like you can switch your mind around to it and focus on the good, but I can understand, right? See you in the collective, Simon. Yeah, what time is it? Oh, well, 11:11. 11:11, guys. 11:11. Alrighty. So, spiritual love. Spiritual love. What does spiritual love need to hear? Right. I think that you're there to impact others and to get stronger. I think it's a combination of both. All right. What does spiritual love need to hear? All righty. We're just going to leave that one sitting sideways. Right? Yeah, I feel you're going to impact some people in a beautiful way. You're going to help so many women there, right? And that is the joy of what you're doing. Yeah. Because you're powerful. We've talked about this before. Well, you've got Sagittarius, you've got Virgo in your cards that have come out so far. Spiritual love. Yeah. Yeah, Melinda's powerful too. She just needs to remember. Right. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Wouldn't have it any other way, spiritual love, than have the cards like this. All right. Relationship. It's not. It's not. Don't tell yourself it's hard. Don't make it hard. Right? We have to watch our language. And you can come to the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective, Melinda. You can come there. I'll call you out there too. I'll call you out on your language. Right? If you say that it's hard, you're making it hard even when it's not. Right? Now, that is not taking away from the experience that you're having, because the experience is what the experience is. But you're going to continue to keep it hard or make it harder because of holding that space with your language, right? Thoughts become things, exactly, right? And it's all the energy that you're sending out into the field. We send energy out through our thoughts, we send energy out through our feelings, we create a really good framework with our belief system, and then we go and take action in the direction of those things, right? The actions that we do further concrete everything into the physical realm. So start with the thoughts and the feelings. How can you sit in the feeling of, you know what, this is an amazing opportunity. I wonder whose life I'm meant to impact. And I wonder, what tomorrow's going to bring. Like, sit yourself in the curiosity space, right? How can you be curious about the future that you're building? How can you be curious about, the way that you're going to go? Yeah. Yeah. I see your fridge full of groceries. I see your cupboard full of groceries, Beansy. I do. I see tons of groceries, an abundance of food in your house. An abundance of it. You open the fridge and it's just so colorful too. All kinds of different vegetables and fruits and, like all kinds, like just full. full to the brim. Right? But you know you've got people that they're still there even if they're physically not there, right? Yeah, a lot of us are. A lot of us are. I'm not someone that didn't have, I still do that today where I have to look at where my thoughts or how I say things, right? That's why I try not to say good morning, right? Because I'm not mourning when I get up in the morning. I'm happy. I'm elated. I'm ready for the day. So I'd rather say divine rising or grand rising or good day at least, right? Like we have to look at the language and how powerful it is. Yep. I don't have anyone physically. I haven't went like I mean I have my mom, but I don't have my friends. My friends aren't near me. I don't have anyone that I can just go and hang out with. Right. You and Lily are your little duo, the magical duo, right? So you're never alone. Between God, your mama, Lily, you're never alone, right? And then in the internet space, right? But you can hold yourself, right? You get to hold yourself. Right? Remember we talked about framing right hand here, guys, in case it's turning up opposite to you, right hand under your left side so it's cupping across your heart, right? And your left hand up over your arm and you can hold it like that. Right? You can do the rocking, you can rub down the arm to further do the soothing. You can hold yourself as tight as you want. Right? You can, but maybe that's something that, that you'll get to the point with meeting some of the people that are there that you'll have the opportunity to do physical touch. But you at least have Lily, right? And in hugging Lily, you're being hugged, right? And holding the having Lily sitting here is going to feel as beautiful as any hug. Cause yeah, I'm here like alone. Like I mean, like I said, my mom's here, but we're not hugging all the time. Maybe I need to hug her more. This is a good message for all of us. Go hug your mom. Go hug your mom or hug your child, right? Whichever direction that you can do that in, but go hug one of those directions. Okay. But yes, know that you always have us. Even just putting your hands on your heart, right? And just breathing into that space and holding yourself there. Right? See, she's growing up. Okay, spiritual love. I told you you had, I'm back to your reading. So, spiritual love, you have both Sagittarius and Virgo in the reading. Virgo by the Hermit and Temperance representing Sagittarius. Sagittarius is in the sideways position. So, Sagittarius speaks of moderation and balance. And when it's in shadow, it talks about extremes. Now, there may not be complete extremes like oil and water, but it's not in the upright either, where we have that beautiful space of balance, right? Where there's a real moderation and temperance, like balancing between all those aspects and that very fluid motion, right? And temperance is a very spiritual card as well. So this is really that balancing and the alchemist. Temperance represents the alchemist, right? Blending lead into gold or alchemizing metals. So he's just in the sideways. So it's not a complete oil and water situation, but there is a relationship that's not in harmony, and temperance is sitting like this. Okay, so temperance. We also have the hermit or Virgo in shadow. So Virgo is, when Virgo's in shadow, that's being told stop hermiting. Right? You've hermited long enough. You've isolated long enough. It's time, or you're not healing. You're forever chasing it, but you're not actually doing the healing because you're skipping past the part of integration. That's another way that this could be interpreted, right? Not doing the healing. So it could be an unhealthy relationship dynamic that isn't fully like oil and water extremes, but it's definitely not a flowing situation. It's definitely not a harmonious, balanced situation. So we've got that energy there. And like I said, with this one here, in the it's time to stop isolating, or it's time to actually do the work to implement the techniques that you know. The Six of Cups is coming, or sorry, Six of Wands is coming out. The Six of Wands is about badass success, right? But this is about you not wanting to be seen. But that's going to change because you've got new ideas, and they're going to want to take action on these ideas. And look at the 11 there, the beautiful 11 that we're showing there. So the 2 ones are telling you that there's going to be this, yeah, me too. There's going to be this new beginning that's coming for you. New, really beautiful ideas that have the ability, clarity as well. This is also clarity and taking action on that clarity. So clarity's coming in for you. My guides were like, hang on, clarity's coming. Clarity's coming. Okay. I love you. Can you FaceTime your grandma? Are you able to FaceTime your grandma? Because that would be really cool. I hope you can. And if not, I hope she can. I hope you guys can figure that out at some point. But we love you, and we're sending so much love with you, honey. So clarity's coming, and you're going to take inspired action on that spiritual love. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Rejoice. I'm like, I could tell her in person in the Mind Body Spirit Healthy Collective in a moment. I mean, like, so this is the other, like, the full on stuff that's coming out for you too. Like, just focus on you, boo. Focus on you. And when you feel like you are all right, like we go around looking for our twin flame, right? We go around looking for our soulmate. We go around looking for the yin to our yang and the peanut butter to our jelly and all these other things, right? And meanwhile, it's like, what about us just being the whole dang sandwich? And I mean all of us, gender not important here. Just like, what if we all give ourselves the whole sandwich? Like, just, we are the whole sandwich, and we go find another sandwich. Okay? You be your peanut butter and jelly, I'll be my peanut butter and honey, and we'll get together and we'll have peanut butter honey jelly sandwiches. All right. All right. That's how it's supposed to be. But instead, we get sold these things about we got to find our missing piece. We got to find the other half of us. No, you're already whole. And when you know you're whole, then you go find somebody else who knows they're whole. And they're not looking for you to complete some aspect of them. Because the problem is when you have that, you have to fill this space. If you don't fill that space, then you're got to get out. Right? We've got her, Beansy. It's like 2 horses corralling her down the road. We're like walking on each side. We're like, go, go, go. Right? Oh my, see? I've decided that I just want to drop all of it, right? So somebody identified me as being a cis white woman, and I was like, well, you'd be wrong to identify me as that, but you can identify me as anything that you want, because that's like up to you. Like, I don't care. I know me, and I know how I identify myself. But I have like mixed culture. I have so many different cultures in my DNA and in my family history and my ancestry. You know, I have Black, I have Irish, I have Native American, I have all kinds. So I've got all kinds of it. And then I'm like, and when it comes to, you know, if we're all light beings and we all have both masculine and feminine energy in us, then wouldn't it be safe to say that as a light being, I'm going to love somebody else at their light being center, and that's beyond your physical form, right? You're beyond, that's beyond your physical form. So that's right when you so I like to call, like, I fall in love with someone's soul. So that's it. And what the person is, that's not the be all, right? And same thing with what I identify as a spiritual being having a human experience, and this is just one of the temples that I've inhabited. I've inhabited other temples, and some of those temples were masculine. Some like were very, very male according to the way that things are. Some of them I have inhabited on a different planet. I wasn't even human. I mean, many of us here probably aren't human. We're some hybrid. We are talking about, are we gonna, like, my favorite videos right now are like, okay, I don't want to hear about the Inquisitives. I don't want to hear about the Inquisition. I don't want to hear about the stuff that's going on in Parliament. I don't want to hear about that. Just show me the aliens. Show me what you're talking about. You say you got video? Show me. Like, show me what you're talking about. Don't just talk about it. Show me the aliens. Show me the money. Right? Right? I'm on that same wavelength too. Just show us. Like, just get it over. I saw a falling star last night, guys, but I haven't seen the hole in the moon yet. I keep trying. As I dropped this, when I said about seeing the hole in the moon, drop that. Oh my goodness. Hi, Carolyn. Alrighty. Who's got the cards? Carolyn. What does Carolyn need to know? What does Carolyn need to know? Whoa, 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 whoa. Carolyn, you need to either. No. Okay, we're gonna pull out all the cards that fell down here. I have to. Okay. All right. We got 6 cards here. All right. So we'll go through the reading in a specific way. Let's see. I'm going to go with. All right. Yes, Mira asked for a card and Rejoice asked for a card. Yes, yes. All right, we've got a half an hour, so I'm pretty sure I can get you all. Oh, I gotta plug in my phone though. Hello, Rose. Yes, yes. Okay, so Carolyn. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is about is slow. Like, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, and it's about putting in a lot of work. You also have the other card, which is about putting in a lot of work, and that's the 7 of Pentacles. So this is putting in a lot of work, not seeing a lot of results for it, so or not ready for harvest. Like, the results of the labor aren't ready to be harvested yet. But this is like a really slow moving energy. And when it's in shadow, it's even more. Like, there's a significant delay that was here. So you've been through this, like, things like being really in delay. The 2 of Wands is here, and that in the shadow, and that's about not making a decision. There's something that you need to let go of, or there's some decision that you need to make. There's some direction that you need to head into, but you're not making that decision and taking the risk or moving in the direction that is connected to your heart. So we've got the Hermit, which is maybe about some isolation that you've been going through, or and what I like about the Hermit more in this situation is it feels like sometimes we get, like, I like to call them shelf helps. We'll get our self-help books and we'll put them on a shelf and we never read them. So they're really shelf help. They're just helping decorate a shelf, and they're not actually helping you. But even sometimes we'll take the books and we'll read them, and then it becomes information. But until it becomes applied, it doesn't become knowledge or wisdom. And until we actually apply or integrate what we're learning, then we can't move through the healing. So, you might go to a therapist and you'll go into like talk therapy, and it's just talk about things. But there's nothing to implement with that, right? If you're doing things like nervous system regulation, or you're checking your thoughts and challenging them and changing them, if you're, being more mindful, if you're doing meditation, if you're looking at the toxins that are in your life, those are integration of those things, right? So that energy is coming up, is that there's that needing to move forward from it. I love you. I love you. What you need to do, there's clarity that's coming though, and this is, the moon is about emotions. So there's clarity that's going to be coming, and you're going to feel really like it's true. I know this to be true. I feel that this is right. I'm discerning in my body. So that clarity is going to feel like you're going to know it. And it's also about you getting clear with your emotions, right? How do you feel about certain things? This can be a secret coming to light. And once that does, then things start to change. Things start to go really, really quickly, right? Really, really quickly. So just, there is success on the horizon, but you have to make the decision to go after the things that light you up and let go of the things that aren't working for you. And just, it's all talk, no action is coming to mind. All talk, no actions. Is that Rose again? Is that Rose that's here? Hi, Tanya. Ah, yes. Yeah, I don't pull cards twice in one show for one person. I do Tarot Tuesdays. I used to do lives every single day. Every single day. And every single day I would pull cards and I would give people readings. And meanwhile, on my website, I have a thing for 30-minute readings, an hour-long reading. These readings that are hour-long are my spiritual readings. So it's where I connect with my spirit guides. I connect and I check in to see what past lives I can get you, or it's all kinds of things. So you get all my spiritual gifts plus cards in the spiritual reading. And I'm on here every day for about 3 hours, and I was doing that 5 days a week, and nobody was booking my readings. And I'm like, well, I wonder why no one's booking my readings. Well, because they can show up day after day after day after day and get free cards. So why would they ever go book a reading, right? I have a company, like I have actually an incorporation. I'm Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self Inc. is my company. I have a website that has, I have books. I'm a published author. I've written 7 books, 3 of them children's books. I am currently writing my 4th children's book. I have education. I train people to do quantum regression and integration therapy. I train people in trauma awareness. I also train people in how to do calm spaces, which is a resiliency building program, so that you can build a resiliency toolkit. It teaches you about grounding. It teaches you about mindfulness. It teaches you breath work. It teaches you all kinds of things about your nervous system and how to trick it so that you can get into rest and digest. I do all kinds of trauma healing stuff, trauma wellness. I have a sacred journey, which is a 6 month or 3 month. We've done it as, sorry, it's a 3 month program. We've done it as short as 6 weeks. I did it backwards. It's a 3 month program, so bi-weekly sessions, but I have done it where it's been weekly. So we've had the 6 sessions week after week after week, and that worked out okay. But I think that for many people, they prefer the bi-weekly. So that gives you 2 weeks to integrate what we do in each session. I do quantum regression and integration therapy. I do channeled quantum activations meditations. I have groups that I do. I have a powerful group called Sacred Union of Divine Feminine and Masculine Energy. This is a group where we are healing, awakening, aligning, and connecting. We are healing we're healing the wounding that we've experienced, whether it's mother, father, masculine, feminine, persecution woundings, those types of woundings. Hello, lovey. We also are awakening or reawakening the divine masculine energy. We're realigning it with the divine masculine. Did I say reawakening the divine masculine? We're reawakening the divine feminine, realigning it with the divine masculine and connecting in a sacred circle, which is reestablishing the connection of community. So all of those things are happening, are things that I do. So yeah, Now I only go live here twice a week on TikTok. I do Tarot Tuesdays and then Transformation Thursdays, because I just felt like it was just a lot of stuff going out for free, and nobody was buying any of my stuff. And I'm like, I can't have a company if nobody's buying anything. I can't have a company where I work for free. So, yeah. So I only give you one. I mean, one. I gave you reading today. That's all that one person can expect for free each day. Hi, Damia. How are you? Okay, Rejoice wanted cards, and Mira wanted cards. So Rejoice, what does Rejoice need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a message for Rejoice? Okay. Make sure I got all the cards that spewed out. Alrighty, so which order do we want to do these cards in? We've got the Six of Cups, but the Six of Cups in shadow, and that means we're looking at the past, but not the past in a good way. We're looking at the woe is me part of the past. We're looking at maybe back with regret or back with longing, right? It's that, oh, whoa, I wish I had that back. There's the Seven of Swords, which means that we're more than likely lying to ourselves. This is when we're looking in the rear view mirror and all of a sudden we put our rose-colored glasses on and we start telling ourselves that the relationship wasn't the way that we thought it was. It wasn't that bad. It was okay. You know, he was only mean once a month, or he was only, you know, like, well, it was only bad when we had fights and they were like really explosive. I mean, that was it. That's the energy of that, where we're lying to ourselves. And we're not saying that, you know, maybe that individual, the King of Cups in shadow, this can be very emotional maturity. It can be, you know, when you think about that masculine energy emotionally in a negative space, that can be the energy. I thank you. That could be the energy that is experienced there. So it could be a toxic masculinity, a toxic masculine energy, like being a drama king, being very, you know, like, look at, you know, like me, my feelings matter, but yours don't kind of energy that's coming from that. So the Nine of Cups or Nine of Wands is here, and this is that persevering energy where you want to keep going and going and going because you think you can get it across the finish line. It's a very, you know, a strong energy, like you've taken your knocks and you're like, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get this across the finish line. And that may need that spiritual awakening to happen. So the Hierophant is here, and the Hierophant can be actually like connecting with a spiritual teacher or a healer and working with a mentor through stuff, but it can also be about your own enlightenment and your own awakening journey. Sometimes awakenings or enlightenment happens in a conversation or in an interaction. It doesn't have to be like a big massive thing. So that's the energy that's coming up with that. The Ace of Pentacles is there as well, which can mean either newfound levels of self-worth or new ideas that are going to be financially lucrative. They have the potential. They have the potential to be very abundant. Abundant. Okay, that's the energy. Mira, what does Mira need to hear? Mira's cards are coming out one at a time. Hi, Damia. I love you. How are you? Okay. Interesting. 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 Okay, so we've got the Ten of Cups in the shadow, and the Ten of Cups in the shadow would mean that there's a lack of emotional fulfillment. This is typically dubbed the one big happy family card, but can speak about like disharmony. Tens are beginnings and endings as well, so that's can be incorporated within the meaning of that card. We also have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands in the shadow, though. So this is about not taking inspired action. This is not, you know, taking, going towards the things that actually light you up. The Seven of Pentacles is about a lot of hard work and starting to lose hope because you've been working on something for a really long time, but only seeing a little bit of the results from it, and you want to see more results coming in. There's the new beginning, but you're not stepping out and taking that new beginning. So again, we have the Ace of Wands, which is not taking that new beginning, the Fool, which is about new beginnings, and Ten of Cups, which is about endings, which also then become new beginnings. So this, you know, there's a lot of ones and zeros in that section, right? We've got 10-10 essentially here with the 1 and the 0 and the 10. So 10-10, beginnings and endings. The Devil is here, so there's something that there is an addiction. And this doesn't have to be relationship, just because that 10 of Cups, right? That can be, like I said, a lack of emotional fulfillment, not anything beyond that. So it could be, you know, that you're not pursuing things that give you desire. It could be, like when you look at the Devil, sometimes we get addicted to healing. That's the energy that's coming up. Sometimes we get addicted to healing and we stay in that space and we percolate instead of moving beyond that space. And I think that's kind of what's coming up with this, is there's that, you know, that hesitation to start that newness, following your desires, just following your passions, to moving forward. And you're meant to be this Queen of Wands who is passionate, and you know, she's a leader, and she's, you know, she's abundant, she's spiritual. Like, you're meant to be that person. But that, right, sometimes the Devil, when we talk about addictions don't have to be drugs and alcohol. Sometimes addictions is, I'm just addicted to the way my nervous system feels, or and somewhere in my mind I think that I have to struggle, so I'm, without realizing it, I'm addicted to the struggle because I think that that's what I have to do. And you know, my body is just used to it and it's conditioned in that environment, so that to it is normal, and normal is safe, so I want to stay within that space. So I see that as being the message here, that it's time for you to start pursuing the things that light you up. You know, if we look at being, even if you're a generator or a manifesting generator, we go through the sacral and we're supposed to be following the things that make us go, yes, not, oh, maybe, or not, no, right? So just check in with yourself with the feeling of what you want to be pursuing. You're welcome, love. You're welcome. Who else needed a card? Because I forget. Because I forget, guys. But at noon, I am going to the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective. So if you're looking for a card, you have like less than 15 minutes. Or around 15 minutes, I should say. Around 15 minutes. And if you want to join us in the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective, please follow us there and hang out with us there. Love you. I'm going to stop shuffling the cards. Hi, Elaine. Hi. How are you? All right. What does Elaine need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Elaine? Okay. You need to rest, Elaine. There is definitely this card here, when the Four of Swords, when it's in the shot, when it's in the, we're going to start that over again. I'm going to catch up with my tongue right after I have a sip of tea. All right, let's try that again from the top. The Four of Swords in this position is talking about needing rest and renewal. It's time to, you know, really do self-care, to take time out. There's been, like, you've been pushing yourself too far. When it's in this position, it's gone really too far, and it's like close to a breakdown. And you're the only one that can change that. You're the one that needs to stop, take a step back and go, okay, I need to change something and do something now. I can't go full out. My brain can't always be on. I can't, you know, like, keep up with this pace. I need to come back to me. And whether it's giving out to other people or energies, whatever it is, like, you need rest. This is rest before you end up having a breakdown or a burnout. We've got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can be, when she's in the shadow, she can be being cold and callous. She can be not connecting to her heart, and this could reference a feminine energy within your life, or it could just represent the dynamic of that energy coming from someone else. There is this energy of karma here. The karma energy, the wheel when it's turning, you want to catch it when it's on the upswing, so that you're swinging into destiny instead of, on the downswing when you're experiencing like karma of the wheel. And so this is going on, and whatever this is, you are moving past it. The devil in the shadow is actually the better direction for the devil for the most part. There's still a caution with the devil when he's in a shadow. But the devil can be, and when he's in the upright, he's talking about addiction, and sometimes the addiction is something that we don't even know. We could be addicted to a person, for instance, a toxic relationship. Sometimes we're addicted to food. Sometimes we're addicted to emotions or situations. So the devil can be something that we're not aware of as well. When it's in the shadow, it's about liberation from that, where you are starting to delve into the shadow work and bring it to light, and it's no longer, it can't harm you. Once we put a light on the shadow, that's when we change it. It's no longer a shadow. But this is about that liberation from whatever it is. And maybe there's, this is, maybe, sometimes we get liberated in ways that don't feel like, we won, because we'll get liberated in the sense that we'll get sick and we'll have to take time off from our job because we didn't listen. We didn't listen to the signs that our body was giving us or that our mind was screaming at us. We didn't listen when we started to become emotional and we started to become afraid with our nerves. We didn't listen to those subtle cues, and now we're sick and we're on our back, and we have no choice but to have gone through this. So sometimes liberation doesn't come in a beautiful way. Sometimes losing your job is the liberation that you were seeking but afraid to take. Sometimes the illness or the injury that you have, it's that because you weren't looking at the energy that you needed to clear through your body. So those things can happen. But at the end of the day, everything is going to be okay. You got the Sun card. This is the giant yes card. And just for reference, in the major arcana, the devil represents Scorpio energy, no, Capricorn energy, Capricorn energy. And the sun represents Leo. And it doesn't actually, but it should. The strength card represents Leo, but the devil does represent Capricorn. So this is a giant yes card. This is abundance. This is everything turning out right. So whatever this is, just let it be, move on, and know that it is for your good. Whatever happened, or take a break now before it's too late. That's the energy that's coming up for you. Rest. Okay. High healing connections. How are you? Oh, for some reason that isn't plugged in. Interesting. Why my phone isn't charging. Okay, that time it worked. All right, guys, I've got 10 minutes until we're going into the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. I can pull one more card and then that's it for today. If you didn't get your card read and would like to have a reading, you can go to my website. I don't solicit you in the chats, and these are my only accounts, whether on TikTok or on Facebook, or on YouTube. Make sure that when you're looking at the name that you're making sure that it's spelled correctly, because they get really sneaky. They take all your likeness and they duplicate it, and then they make your name so it would be like instead of mind body spirit healthy, the spirit would have like 2 eyes in it. Like an extra I, and you might not notice it, or the R and the I would be switched around, like it could something silly like that. Hi, transformational. How are you? Hello, Carolyn. How are you? Good morning, good morning. So I've got maybe one more reading, and then I'm off for today, okay? So whoever's the first one to say me, or just me, for a reading, I'll pull cards for you, and then I'm off. Transformational wins. I had a feeling. Working from home, nice, nice, just in time. All right, so what does transformational soul need to hear today? All righty. Okay, that's the one. These ones are too many. All right. We got the Ace of Wands in the shadow. We got the Ten of Cups in the shadow. We've got the Knight of Swords in the shadow. What else do we have for transformational? Can we get some... Is there anything else that transformational needs to hear today? All right. So, that makes sense. So you're not emotionally fulfilled is what the Ten of Cups represents. The Knight of Swords is typically very fast, logical, clear, like clarity. Like the Knight of Swords is moving forward with clarity of mind. But there's like you don't feel clear in your mind, and maybe there's a slowdown in that space. The Ace of Wands is this inspired action, but you're not taking inspired action. So I feel like this whole reading is surrounding the fact that there's some part of yourself that you're not showing. There's some part of yourself that you're afraid, or in some space, right? Some space where you feel like maybe you're have imposter syndrome or something like that. Or there's some facet, like you don't show your whole self to everybody, which then means that there's a subtle rejection of those parts of yourself, right? Like if you can't be you 100% of the time, then where is those situations where you feel like you have to hide yourself, and what is that telling you about your belief system or about that dynamic that you can look at? When we allow ourselves to fully be seen, so non-judgmentally, we allow our glorious unveiling of our spirit, we are able to have clarity, and we're able to take inspired action, and we find that emotional fulfillment. This is when the Wheel of Fortune starts to spin in our favor. So the wheel is spinning. It is spinning into that space, but the way to get there in a faster way is through authenticity. Okay, so that's the message that's coming up for you, transformational soul. Yeah. What lights you up? When you listen with, there's forward motions happening, but the world that we're creating is based on the thoughts and the feelings that we're sitting in, and the action that we're taking because of that. So if you're sitting in the feeling and the thoughts of authenticity, so who are you? What do you want? What do you love? What lights you up? When you're in that space, then you are magnetizing everything to you, and at a very fast rate, right? The authenticity, and in magical ways, right? It'll surprise you with how it shows up, right? But when we are not allowing ourselves, and that's why I said it's like a subtle thing. I feel like there's certain people that you don't let know all about you, or there's a little small aspect of yourself that you're not showing, and that's what is blocking you just that little bit. Yeah. Alrighty, Petito Sweet. You are balancing the many aspects of yourself. You've got the musician and the world. Like things are turning around for you, Carolyn. So this is you finally juggling the many aspects of you, the balance between spiritual and all of that. Remembering that you are the magician. You have the skills and talents and everything that you need in order to to create what you want to create in your life, to have the reality that you want. You're capable of creating that. And the world, this is like everything. This is abundance. This is joy. It could even mean travel. Like there might be an element of you that needs to travel the world. But it's very beautiful, abundant completion energy. We've got the Fool as well, or sorry, the Hanged Man. I don't know why the Fool came to mind. We've got the Hanged Man. So this is a perspective shift, which is really incredible to see, like those three major arcanas as well, and then the Knight of Swords. So this will be very fast moving, very clear mentally, making good decisions and choices for you. So that's the energy that's coming up for you, Petito Sweet. And that's, I think, it for today. For those of you that didn't get a card, you can go to my website and book a full reading with me, whether it is the cards for half an hour or all of my spiritual gifts and the cards for an hour. Those are on my website. Or if you have your time and date and place of birth, you can send that information to me for a gene key or human design reading, and I'll do those for you as well. But if you want, you can also come and just join us in the Mind Body Spirit Healthy Collective, where we're all going to go to deepen the conversation right now and have more fun and talking about healing and awakening. We're raising the vibration of the collective through each individual, and it's a very supportive, loving environment. So if you're looking for a supportive space talking about the things that we talk about on here, then do come and join us. If not, I will see you back on TikTok on Thursday and maybe on YouTube tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.